apropos for what we've been through for the last 2 years. But the fact is that when in the world did they come out with this? Whoever did this is just brilliant. That's why I call it bright ideas, because this takes your temperature without touching you. So if a child has a fever and you want to take their fever, they're sleeping, you don't want to wake them up, you can take their temperature without even waking them up. That could be any age person for that matter. You can even find out what the temperature is of liquid, whether it's a baby's bath water or the liquid in the bottle, the milk that's in the bottle that you've just heated up. You can even take a room temperature if you want to, or even food. Like if you've heated up the baby food and you want to see, is it okay? Basically, here's how it works. So you can just pull the trigger. Hear that? Now I'm going to put it just a little ways from my head. Let's see what it came out to. 98.4. So doing well, I don't have a fever. We have to take our temperature every single day we come to work. Every day it's the first thing we do when we hit the door. So we're used to it, but the thing is at home, this is such a nice thing to have. And then we also have an oximeter, which we're gonna talk about in a moment. Let me just quickly say, you get both of these for a clearance price of $51.67. That's $17 less than what it was at a QVC price. It's also on 3 payments of $17.22, and there's no more coming in. I actually own this set. I love this set. I want to bring in Emily Scott because she brings us so many wonderful products that just give us a feeling of confidence and, kind of like, okay, I've got this in the house, so if I need it, I've got it, it's ready to go. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Mary Beth. And you know what? That's exactly right. I mean, the last 2 years, this is what the doctors want to know. They want to know your temperature and they want to know something called your blood oxygen level. Used in the medical profession for decades, but this is brand new for home use. I'll talk about this one in just a second. But as you said, a thermometer, I tried last summer to buy one of these, to find one of these. They were nowhere to be found. This is contactless and it's infrared. All you do to get an accurate reading without waking the baby, without touching the forehead, is to simply hold the trigger for 2 seconds. And then you're not only going to get your number, but you're going to get a color-coded display that's this key to whether you have a fever or not.
Mhm.
Green means you're good. Yellow means you could be a little bit elevated. Red means you have a fever. Now, your last 50 readings are stored in the memory. So if the doctor says what happened over the last day,
Mhm.
you can give them that information.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Then you've got your oximeter.
Mhm.
Now, again, new for home use, but this became so important over the last year. So all you have to do is put it on one of your 3 middle fingers and press the go button. Now, what it's doing is it's measuring the amount of oxygen in your blood. So what that means, we breathe in, our lungs do all this work to bring this oxygen to all of our vital organs and our tissue and our brain. But if it's too high or too low, it could be a problem. It needs to be between 95 and 100% for our bodies to be optimized.
Hmm.
This gives you the number, and your doctor, whether you're going into the office or not, may well want to know both of these numbers.
Yeah. I have this set, but I haven't really used my oximeter for a long time. And so I was just looking and I thought, yeah, what is that top number supposed to be? And you said between 95 and 100. Well, it was 97 moments ago. It's 96 now. Obviously, my heart rate is a little high right now, but I'm also on television talking for 3 solid hours, walking from set to set. So, that's going to be that way. But it's so nice to know. That's the thing, is to be able to know what these numbers are for you, for a family member. If all of a sudden something happens and somebody in the family says, I'm not feeling so well, you say, let me get a couple of things. I can quickly do that. I wanted to also say, aren't the batteries already included with these?
They are included for both devices. You get both the thermometer as well as the oximeter. And Mary Beth, some of us aren't going into the doctor's office right now for
Right.
well checkups. We're doing virtual. So how do you give your doctor the numbers? Or Mary Beth, have you ever felt rushed in the doctor's office?
Yes.
So there's not really enough time, but when you go in with the basic information, like a history of your temperature and your blood oxygen level, it frees up that time with the doctor for more discussion about why you're there and how you feel.
That's so true. I want to just show you, this is how easy it is. Even if you didn't know what those buttons did, okay, it's very simple, but if you didn't know what those do, all you have to do is pull that trigger. It's off right now, right? You can see right there it's off. I'm going to pull the trigger and you're going to hear something. It's telling me it's on. Now I'm going to put it up to my forehead and just push it once. And there's my temperature, 98.6. So it was 98.4, now it's 98.6. You guys are all getting me hot out here. No, I'm teasing. But you know, that's how simple that is. And then to do the oximeter, just open it up, put a finger in it, and then hit the on button, which is right there. So I'm going to put it on right there, and you can see it'll just start working. And you can start to read it. I got 172 there, 98, 77. I mean, obviously, I'm talking while I'm doing this. We're going to show you a blood pressure monitor coming up next. I mean, the thing is that sometimes we think, oh, we don't want to spend the money. But I'm looking at this saying, this set was $69. And you're now getting it $17 less and getting it for $51.67. How many times when I was raising my kids did I need to know their temperature? And it was like, there was only one way to do it. It was either stick it under the tongue or stick it in the other end. And neither were good. You know what I mean? Neither were what I wanted to do, especially when they were little
when you
and
have
they were
the sick baby.
Yeah.
You had a sick baby. Whoever wakes the sick baby is going in time out. It's nothing you want to do.
That's for sure.
I have a 28-year-old son. This technology was not around, whether they were teething and they had an elevated fever or whatever the case would be. That right there that showed you surface, there's two modes, one for your body and one for surface. So if you ever worried if the baby's formula is a good temperature or the baby's bath water, you can switch between those two modes, which is really nice to know as well.
And I'm switching between the modes, so body, and then it's got surface, etc. So you can use it with the different things. And I also like the fact that you could do liquid, because I mean, most of us can usually tell if the bath water, you remember you always stuck your elbow in it, and it's like if it was hot, then you knew it was too hot. But anyway, it just makes so much great sense. So if you want to get this set, or maybe you want to buy it, maybe you know somebody who's, you know, pregnant with their first baby and you're like, ooh, what a great baby gift. Absolutely, but give it to anybody who doesn't have one. That's the way to do it. Now, we're going to also talk about the blood pressure risk monitor. This is